Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Olympia Brown Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Suzanne Landis. My pronouns are she, hers, and I am your worship assistant this morning. Welcome to all who are here in this sanctuary and all who are joining us online. And welcome to Patty Fitchett, who is our worship leader on this first Sunday in September. Together, we claim and celebrate the promise of our UU faith, that all of who we are is welcome in this co-created sacred space. As we gather, we remember that our mission as a church is to be a community of hope, one that challenges us to transform ourselves, promote love and justice, respect all faiths, and shepherd our planet. Together, we journey toward wholeness by working to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community. As people committed to the work of justice, we covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression, and we unite in solidarity with all who are being marginalized, rejected, silenced, and kept from being who they are. Our theme today is Begin with Gratitude. With hearts and minds open to the message, let us worship together.
Good morning. I invite Delilah to come forward and light our chalice for us. For the gift of this day and for our community of spiritual nurture and compassion, we give thanks. We light this chalice as a symbol of our faith. May our many sparks meet and merge in communion of heart and soul. And now please join me in song. You may rise in body or in spirit and join in hymn number 347, Gather the Spirit. Gather the Spirit, harvest the power of separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in store, nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gathered in peace, gathered in thanks, gathered in sympathy now and then, gathered in hope, compassion and strength, gathered to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit, growing in awe, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun, wind and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, passion and strength, gather to celebrate once again.
And now it's time for the message for all ages. So if all the children and those young in heart can come on forward. So today is our backpack blessing rituals, and Abby's going to hand out some baskets for all of you out here, and I'm going to hand you all. Here's the basket for the kids. You want to pass it around? Here. And while the tokens are being passed around, I'm going to tell you about Indra's net. Indra's net is a traditional Buddhist and Hindu story. And this is the god Indra. So far, far away, in the abode of the great god Indra, king of the heavens, hangs a wondrous, vast net, much like a spider's web in intricacy and loveliness. It stretches out indefinitely in all directions. At each crossing hangs a single glittering jewel. Since the net itself is infinite, the jewels are infinite number. The sparkling jewels hang there, suspended and supported by the net, glistening like stars, or glittering, dazzling to behold. You are like a sparkling jewel in Indra's net. And so every person around you, every jewel is connected with all the other jewels in the net, just like every person is connected with all the other people in the universe. Whatever you do to one jewel affects the entire net as well as yourself. So just like you can't damage one strand of a spider web without injuring the entire web, you cannot damage one strand of the web of the universe without injuring all others in it, whether the injury is known or unknown. One single act, even a simple act of kindness, will send positive ripples across the infinite net, touching every jewel and every person in existence. So if you brought a backpack today, or a bag, I'm going to invite you to hold your backpack in your lap, or your hands, or maybe just in your thoughts. And of course, by a backpack, I mean your backpack, your gym bag, your dance bag, your lunchbox, your diaper bag, your briefcase, your purse, your cell phone. These are all things you can put that little token that we handed out on. You might put it in your car, on your windshield, on your mirror in your car, or I don't put things on my mirror, so I hang them on my stick shift, on your stick shift. So hold that or think about it in your mind. One of the blessings of being part of a church community is that we are reminded that we are not alone. We're reminded that you are connected to so many people that, in fact, you're surrounded by love all the time. You're reminded when we make our decisions on how we'll act, what we do it for love. And we do it for the love of all people. So may the tags that you have today remind you of the blessing you bring from this community. You're not alone, you are holy, and you are loved just as you are. There is a love holding you. May your words and deeds be the love of all people, and may the love of all people be reflected in you, just like the net, just like in Indra's net. So that's my blessing to all of you. And now it's time for the children's blessing. We are blessed. We are blessed by being We are blessed by being here. We are blessed by being here together.
Part of being in community is sharing our lives with one another. When we gather, we bring with us the joys and the sorrows that are on our hearts. And being here reminds us that we do not hold them alone. If you have a joy or a sorrow that you would like to speak out loud at the mic, you are invited to come forward first, or you can raise your hand and a microphone will be brought to you. When the spoken joys and sorrows are complete, those who wish to light a candle for silent joys and sorrows may then come forward. And just a reminder, our service is streamed online, so sharing at the mic can be heard by the larger community beyond these walls.
I'm Joyce Firebaugh, and 56 years ago today, Morris and I, my husband, and I walked into the OBUUC. And it's been a journey, it's been wonderful. We've gone through, Roy Phillips was the minister, then Henry Smith, and then Tony Larson. And I have to tell you that the most important part of our journey of 56 years has been you people. It hasn't mattered who well, it has mattered, but it's not been that important who the minister was, where we were located. It was you people. And you brought me through the death of my husband, the death of my grandson. You have been wonderful, and so thank you. But the 56 years is a joy to me.
Ruth Bradford Johnson, she, hers. I have kind of a similar joy. So today I brought with us, our friend Cynthia Wheeler. She's back there. She'll greet you all at coffee hour. And Cynthia was a neighbor on Dean Boulevard, but we actually met when I told Cynthia that I had to get into the house to make food for coffee hour. I said, for church. And she said, well, I said, oh, it's just this little church, Olympia Brown Unitarian Universalist Church. And it was summer, so we weren't meeting. And Cynthia said, well, Bill and I were married in a UU church, Rockford, right? Rockford. And then that was it. Cynthia was president of the congregation at one time. She now lives in Madison. But it's amazing what this place does over so many years for all of us. Thank you.
Hi, Mary Beth Selke. I have a joy that wish all of you, friends and family, happy Grandparents' Day. It's the 15th annual Grandparents' Day. It hasn't been a national holiday for a long time. I think Hallmark started it, but I think it's wonderful that it is because being a grandparent is special. I have wonderful grandchildren, one in Kansas, 3 in Minnesota, 2 here in Racine, and 2 honorary grandchildren. One, Deanna Racina, who is going to be with me today, but now has to move to Florida. And the other honorary granddaughter that was my student, and she calls me Grandma, is Willow Newell, who was Miss Kenosha, Miss Racine, and now Miss Wisconsin. Let's hope tonight she wins Miss America.
Okay, this is Jay Warren. This is Jay Warner speaking, with or without the microphone. 2.5 years ago, I had a serious heart attack and almost didn't make it, but I am still here. I am still here to celebrate the visit of my daughter, Natasha, who is visiting today. And that is worth the 2.5 years.
I'm Jody Spencer, she, hers. I ask that you all hold this in your hearts. Tomorrow, as my husband has his second major surgery, just keep us in your thoughts.
I'm going to piggyback on Grandparents' Day. I remember when Diana Pavao used to tell us about the soccer game she went to. Well, yesterday we went to Madison and we saw 3 soccer games, cross country, and a football game. We put 72 miles on seeing all these things for our grandchildren. I'm Carol Pusely. Did I say that?
Good morning. Is this working? It is? Okay. Hi. It's good to be here. I'm Elaine Marie Kent, but I have a sorrow. My sister passed away in April. My sister was a Catholic nun. She was a missionary nun. They worked. They didn't ask you to join their mission, but they worked to show you what they did and hoped that you would join them. So I ask for your prayers and your blessings, and thank you very much. She was in Peru. Ed asked me to add, she was in Peru for 50 years, and for 44 of those years, she was a counselor in the prison in Lurigancho. Thank you.
I'm Greta Monroe. I use she, her pronouns. 2 things are on my mind this morning. While I was driving here, I remembered how Jen sometimes, when she welcomes us, speaks about gender euphoria. And I think I have to contact my psychologist to change my diagnosis to gender euphoria. Number 2, on Wednesday, I have the opportunity to share my story with a large amount of people at work. I will co-host a meeting with our CEO. To give you perspective, he is like 5 steps above our plant manager. So I will co-host that and speak about my journey, and I'm excited about that.
Hi, y'all. I'm Holland. I use she, her pronouns. And I wanted to share that last night I was going out with my cousin. She invited me out for dinner. And when I arrived at the restaurant, I had beloveds from so many journeys in my life surprise me on my 40th birthday. So it was lovely. And we survived the first week of school, which was great. So thank you.
I invite you to come forward if you would like to light a candle. We will light one more candle for the joys and the sorrows that are on the hearts of our beloveds online. Please join with me now in singing, "There is a love holding me, there is a love holding us." These words are in your order of service.
Good morning. I'm Patty Fitchett, she and her. I'm the Director of Community Worship at your sibling congregation, Bradford Community Church, Unitarian Universalist, down the road in Kenosha. Our reading this morning is by Barbara Kingsolver, who are my readers. Who loves Barbara Kingsolver? There we are. She's a wonderful author. And this is called Hope, an Owner's Manual. She says, "Look, you might as well know, this thing is going to take endless repair. Rubber bands, crazy glue, tapioca, the square of the hypotenuse, 19th century novels, heartstrings, sunrise, all of these are useful, also feathers. To keep it humming, sometimes you have to stand on an incline where everything looks possible, on the line you drew yourself, or in the grocery line, making faces at a toddler secretly over his mother's shoulder. You might have to pop the clutch and run past all the evidence, past everyone who is laughing or praying for you. Definitely you don't want to go directly to jail, but still, here you go. Passing time, passing strange, don't pass this up. In the worst of times, you will have to pass it off. Park it and fly by the seat of your pants. With nothing in the bank, you'll still want to take the express. Tiptoe past the dogs of the apocalypse that are sleeping in the shade of your future. Pay at the window. Pass your hope like a bad check. You might still have just enough time to make a deposit." Please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing my favorite hymn, number 131, "Love Will Guide Us." Through the
There are many ways that we give to the life of our church, and our monetary offering is just one of those ways. Each month, we partner with a local organization that is doing good work in our community, and we share the money we gather. Our partner for the month of September is the Racine Coalition for Peace and Justice, and here this morning to speak on behalf of this organization is Elaine Kinch. Welcome, Elaine.
Good morning. I am glad to be here. I am Elaine Marie Kinch, the outgoing president of the Racine Coalition for Peace and Justice and a member of this congregation. I wish to thank all of you for this wonderful gift for our coalition to be a recipient of OBUUC's offertory program. We are truly honored. Thank you. The Racine Coalition for Peace and Justice, RCPJ, was founded in 2002 as the U.S. government was preparing to invade Iraq. By members of the Central American Solidarity Coalition, we called for an emergency educational event at Olympia Brown. It was a talk against the U.S. war on Iraq, but when one person objected, it ended up being the biggest demonstration against a war that we had ever had, right there in the UU church, filled up with angry UUs. After that, together with you, we did a fundraising concert for the people of Iraq. Your half went to the Universalist Iraq Relief Fund. RCPJ fundraises for urgent humanitarian international needs caused as a result of U.S. military intervention and media complicity. But our priority is education. 8 of our members have been on delegations to Cuba, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Mexico, Afghanistan, and Palestine, both the West Bank and Gaza. We give presentations to the public when we return, and you have been at a number of our presentations. We also bring in speakers to address these international issues, such as Elizabeth Brownson, who's a professor of history at UW Parkside. She is just absolutely superb on the Middle East. Funds raised through your wonderful offertory program will be used to help provide stipends for our speakers. Our work is to promote peace and just relations amongst peoples and nations. In the United States, we work to protect our human rights and our civil liberties. We do so by providing educational opportunities, organizing and attending demonstrations, doing court observations, organizing letter-writing campaigns, and contacting of legislators. We have an excellent webpage about these activities, and it includes our position paper on Ukraine. We are currently working on a position paper on Palestine. Our web page is racinepeace.wordpress.com. As you probably know, we have also participated for 14 years in the local 4th of July parade with our beloved Peace Dove. And you folks, when all of us were a little bit younger, many of you walked with us for many of these years. Fortunately, we have some young members now, and also they have kids. Your donations will help fund these local initiatives and the support of other peace and justice campaigns that align with the mission of the Racine Coalition for Peace and Justice. We thank you again, for you are the true sisters and brothers in the struggle. Amen. Thank you.
Brene Brown says, a good life happens when you stop and are grateful for the ordinary moments that so many of us just steamroll over to try to find those extraordinary moments. It's not joy that makes us grateful, it's gratitude that makes us joyful. When I was thinking about this topic, I thought back, oh my God, 50 years to 1975, and I went on a class trip to Spain. And it was, first of all, it was a 2-week trip to Spain, and it cost $550. And that included airfare, lodging, and almost all our meals. I can't believe that. But at one point, we were there with a group from Quincy, Illinois, and one of the guys on the group was a guy named Bo McLaughlin, and of course, we called him Bobo. And Bobo McLaughlin, we were at a gift shop in Madrid, and one of the chaperones from the Quincy group was a woman who was a native Spanish speaker, and I don't remember where she was from, but we were checking out at this gift shop in Madrid, and Bobo had gotten his goods and left, and I didn't speak a lot of Spanish, but I understood enough Spanish that I understood that she said to the shopkeeper, "I'm so sorry, Americans don't say thank you." And I thought, ooh, and that's probably not good. And it really stuck with me because I thought, gee, don't be that person. And so when I started to think about this gratitude sermon, I remembered that and how I tried to keep that in my own life as a lesson. And so gratitude isn't just a feel-good emotion. It's a powerful force that can reshape your brain and improve your well-being. Science backs this up in fascinating ways. There's science behind gratitude. And ooh, I saw all the nerds perk up now. Ooh, science. It boosts brain chemistry. Expressing gratitude stimulates the production of dopamine and serotonin, the brain's feel-good chemicals. These neurotransmitters enhance mood and create a lasting sense of happiness. Gratitude reduces stress. It helps regulate cortisol, the stress hormone. When you focus on positive emotions, your brain calms the nervous system, reducing anxiety and promoting a sense of well-being. Regular gratitude practice reinforces neural connections associated with positive emotions, making feelings of happiness and appreciation more frequent and accessible. Writing in a gratitude journal before bed has been shown to improve sleep quality. A study found that people who spend just 15 minutes jotting down things they were grateful for slept better and longer. Gratitude fosters social bonding. Studies show that thanking someone makes them more likely to seek an ongoing relationship with you, strengthening connections and building trust. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's a mindset that rewires your brain for positivity, whether through journaling, meditation, or simply appreciating the little things. Practicing gratitude can lead to a healthier, happier life. The Mindfulness Awareness Research Center of UCLA stated that gratitude does change the neural structures of the brain and make us feel happier and more content. Feeling grateful and appreciating and acknowledging others when they do something good for us triggers the good hormones and regulates effective functioning of the immune system. Scientists have suggested that by activating the reward center of the brain, gratitude exchange alters the way we see the world and ourselves. Dr. Alex Korb, in his book Upward Spiral, mentioned that gratitude forces us to focus on the positive sides of life. When we give and receive gratitude, our brain is automatically redirected to pay attention to what we have, producing intrinsic motivation and a strong awareness of the present. Also, at the neurochemical level, gratitude acts as a catalyst for neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, the ones that manage our emotions, anxiety, and immediate stress responses. And so I came across this reading by Carrie Knowles. It's called Enjoy Every Peach. She says, it's just past August, and September is new on the horizon, and my first thought was that I hadn't eaten enough peaches this summer. I've enjoyed an amazing watermelon or two, some honest-to-goodness ripened in the field tomatoes, and a couple of freshly picked ears of corn, which brought tears to my eyes. In the abundance that is always summer, I had not celebrated nearly enough the once a year, only in the summertime joy of eating my fill of perfect peaches. 2 days ago, while driving to a repair shop in an adjoining town, it has truly been that kind of everything breaking down summer, complete with the added insults of ants in our kitchen. My husband spied a rustic farm stand beckoning us to stop. The farm display was a cacophony of summer, with overflowing boxes of tight-skinned, ripe red tomatoes, baskets of perfectly round, unblemished peaches, mounds of just picked that morning corn on the cob, and a jumble of football-sized cantaloupes scattered on a table. My husband went for the tomatoes. I headed to the peaches. These are the last of the clingstones. There won't be any more pretty soon, the farmer called out as I began to fill my bag. There won't be any more pretty soon. His warning made me stop and think about all I'd missed this summer while caught up in the worry of the world and just too much busyness. I chose 2 more peaches to add to my bag. I picked out a dozen in all, big baseball-sized golden globes of the best of the summer. I began making a mental plan to have some sliced for breakfast as soon as they had turned slightly soft to the touch, then cook the rest up in a biscuit-topped cobbler. Peach cobbler is meant to be shared. It is the dish that signifies everything that is good about friendship and summertime. I put another peach in my bag to be sure I'd have enough for company, then began dreaming about what I'd make for one more summer supper. Fresh corn on the cob and some fresh green beans tossed with roasted sweet potatoes, all drenched in olive oil and generously seasoned with salt and pepper, tomato salad, chilled cantaloupe soup, and of course, peach cobbler. The peaches were picked this morning, last of the harvest. They're hard as rocks, the man in the beat-up straw hat said as he watched me fill my bag. Don't put them in the refrigerator. Let them ripen on your kitchen counter. Every summer seems to have a way of slipping by you without much of a howdy-do or a by-the-way warning. This summer was a goner by the first hot day of June. I was peeved that I had allowed almost this whole summer to slip by, unnoticed and unappreciated. As we paid for our peaches, tomatoes, and the last-minute choice of cantaloupe, I thought about everything that happened in the world this summer. Drought, floods, fires, tornadoes, hurricanes, and earthquakes. In addition to some, shall we say, indescribable political upheaval. The list was staggering, and I realized I had let all that fill my mind, which had made it hard to appreciate anything. A day at the pool with our grandchildren, a night counting the fireflies in our backyard, or a trip to the local farmer's market to find more peaches. I had mostly let the easy joys of summer pass me by. Life is all about choices and about digging our heels in and making conscious choices rather than letting the constant stream of chaos and self-imposed worry carry us blindly along from sunrise to sunset, from summer to fall. Having missed some of the best summer has to offer made me realize that I needed to shift some priorities in my life and refocus on the everyday joys of living. As singer-songwriter Warren Zevon said, when David Letterman asked him if he had any advice for living a good life, he answered, "Enjoy every sandwich." Wise words. It's really all about peaches and the fact that August is gone and September's arrived and there won't be any more pretty soon. Instead, there will be sweet potatoes and fat pumpkins and the chance to go to a local orchard to pick more apples than we could possibly eat, with the hope that there will be enough left over for at least one big pie, or my biggest casserole dish overflowing with maple syrup-topped apple crisp. I'm taking Zivan's sage advice. I'm not going to let the rest of the season roll by without tasting each peach and tomato and zucchini and sharing everything the earth has to offer and being grateful, and I hope you'll do the same. And I'd like to close with one of my favorite Warren Zevon songs. And no, it's not Werewolves of London. I know what you're thinking. Don't let us get sick, don't let us get old, don't let us get stupid, all right. Just make us be brave and make us play nice and let us be together tonight. The sky was on fire when I walked to the mill to take up the slack in the line. I thought of my friends and the troubles they'd had to keep me from thinking of mine. The moon has a face and it smiles on the lake and causes the ripples and time. And I'm lucky to be here with someone I like, who maketh my spirit to shine. Don't let us get sick, don't let us get old, don't let us get stupid, all right. Just make us be brave and make us play nice and let us be together tonight. And let us be together tonight and enjoy every sandwich. Amen. And now, if you would, please rise in body or in spirit for our final hymn, number 76, For Flowers That Bloom About Our Feet. Alejandro will play the whole thing through one time, and then we'll sing the hymn. For flowers that bloom about As we come to the end of our service, may we depart from our time together, grateful for our sacred space, delighted by the warmth of our gathering, and renewed in soul and mind. As we extinguish the flame of our chalice, may its lingering spark be carried in our hearts until we are together again. We end our gathering with gratitude for camaraderie, shared wisdom, goodwill, and support that we extend to each other within this community. May we continue to bless each other with these gifts, and may we reflect these blessings back out into the world as we minister to those around us. Amen, and blessed be.
I'm Gregory Mason. It's time for some announcements, and we'll begin with Suzanne.
In 2 weeks, on Sunday, September 21st, we will be holding a church conversation for those who would like to talk further about our decision not to return to 625 College Avenue, and also for those who are willing to be there to listen, support, and share their own feelings and ideas about the decision. Because we're all part of one beloved community at OBUUC, it would be good if we could all attend if possible so that we can truly listen to one another and gain a better understanding of what will make it possible for us to move forward together as an effective spiritual community in these very challenging times. Whether you voted to stay or to go, your voice and your presence are important. This gathering will take place in Ehrman Hall, led by a professional facilitator, and lunch will be provided before the conversation begins. An email will go out this week to members and friends with more details and asking for an RSVP for both lunch and childcare. Thank you, and we hope to see you all there.
Thank you, Suzanne. If you haven't already filled out the survey for the 8th Principal and Social Justice Committee's Focus for the Future, see Brana Woolman and Sandy Berezowitz during coffee hour. With the new church year upon us, it's time to refill the RE snack cabinet. Help us fill it by donating juice boxes and single-serve snacks like goldfish crackers, animal crackers, Teddy Grahams, cheese crackers, popcorn, puff snacks, etc. You get the idea. Leave your donations on the bench near the stairs by the First Presbyterian office, or label them for RE and leave them in the pantry wagon by the sanctuary. September 14th is the next deadline for paper raise right orders. See me if you need a form. Board games and ice cream is Friday, September 19th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Join us in Erman Hall for an evening of board games and ice cream sundaes. Bring your favorite games to play with others or play games we provide. Fall camp is coming up the weekend of September 26th. The overnights are full, but if you'd like to come for the day on Saturday, see Leanne for the details. Looking a little further ahead, Halloween Fun Night will be Saturday, November 1st, and this is a new date. The Zoom Tech team is looking for another person to act as host for the after-service coffee hour on Zoom. This usually involves only one Sunday a month. Please contact Anita Miller if you are interested. If you need to reference the monthly Unifier email, there is a link in each Sunday's email that will take you to it. Be sure to check your monthly and weekly emails for community events that are not announced here in church. On August 10th, Pastor Darren led our Sunday service, which was entitled Solidarity with Palestinians. The reading he chose was taken from Solidarity with Palestinians, a 2024 action of immediate witness from the UUA. He used part of the reading, but recommended that we read the entire document. We've got the reading that he did here. It's over on the console table, and there is also a link to the full document. So if you're interested, pick one of those up. For more information and details about some of these announcements, along with others and community announcements, see your Sunday emails. Thank you to our volunteers today, our ushers, Kathy Carson and Joe Cushing, our Zoom host, Patty Riemann, and our coffee hour hosts, Suzanne Landis and Mary Beth Zilke. That's all for announcements. Please join us in Erman Hall for coffee hour. For those on YouTube, log into Zoom for your coffee hour. The link is in today's email.